Welcome to Studio One Live. I'm Hey Rude the Guru, and this is Rude Radio.
I know every town the same, every place I go. People telling stories about the on you. You can play it smart or just be a damn fool. Every town the same, every place I go. People telling stories about the block and how it's gone. Every choice you make leave consequences on you. You can play it smart or just be a damn fool. Or just be a damn fool. I know, I know.
We will roast your program. And all YouTubers and content creators alike. Kong TV.
Hey, Rule the Guru, aka Soccer God, Studio One Live Productions. Yo, I'm on the Smoke Signal channel, and I had to clip this because it's epic. Let's get it.
But I'm saying here in America, we can prove reclassification. We can prove crimes against humanity. But y'all don't want to do that. Y'all rather keep pushing the slave narrative that they say they ain't going to do shit for. They study
But the crimes against humanity were the slaves. Some of the slaves were put in concentration camps and killed.
The
but
crimes against humanity was also reclassifying us 8 to 11 different times.
Can I finish?
No, I just jump in when I feel like it.
Yeah, no, you don't have no respect. You don't have no respect.
I definitely don't have no respect for you, brother.
Right, that's fine. I don't need your respect.
I got respect for my nigga Smoke. If he tell me to mute up, I'll mute up. But I definitely
that's fine.
Mute the fuck up for no Willie Daniels that I don't have no respect.
That's fine.
It's all good.
So again, you made the statement about that they was not willing to give reparations because we benefited from slavery. Well, then how did the slave owners after slavery get reparations for the loss of slaves? How did they end up getting reparations? How did the slave masters at the end of slavery end up getting reparations? How did that happen?
Answer your own question, sir.
You don't have an answer for it.
I have an answer, but
okay, well, I'm listening.
I can give a fuck about your question, sir. Go ask Congress. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Shy, because I'm not giving reparations, sir. I'm not.
You got it, Shy.
I'm not giving reparations. Go ask Congress. That's who holding your reparations deal, brother. You got it, Shy.
I got a question. Who all on the panel believe we from Africa?
Who all on the panel believe what?
That we're descendants of, we come from Africa, whether boat, plane, car, we come from Africa. Who believe that?
I believe majority of us come from there. I'm not gonna say I believe. It's factual. We get the information is overwhelming.
So that's one person out of 9?
Yeah, pretty much, man. And then when you ask him how you know that, when you ask him how you know that, though, he gonna tell us.
There you go. Let y'all Africans speak up. So
is that 2 out of 9?
So far. Yeah, I'm not African.
So you're the minority.
Yeah, we know this all Indian panel.
Right, it's a channel. Y'all come to this channel where y'all know we at.
Man, I
where you can find the Indian, you come here.
I ain't from the Indian yet in here.
All right,
y'all need to lost y'all mind too. I just
got a few simple questions because I'm trying to understand y'all. Maybe if I understand y'all, we can fix the sickness, right? Or whatever, whoever got it, right?
What's the sickness?
So let me just ask you some simple questions. What is an Asian?
A person from the continent.
In your word.
Well, why should I answer that?
Because you're making the claim that we're making the claim. Listen, you're making the claim and you want us to prove that we're Indians, right? When we didn't make the initial claim. Listen though. We didn't make the initial claim of who we was, right? Somebody told you who we was. And in response to that, we said, nah, we not them. When we got to speak for ourselves, instead of y'all listening to somebody else, we said, no, we not them. We not them. We not them. We the people that was here already. That was in response. So I'm trying to figure out Where did you get your information from, and when did you get it? And who did you get it from?
First of all, I stand in alignment with we have been here for thousands of years. See, the timeline's different with what
Grandma.
See, some people think we were on slave boats and all that. I don't believe that. I believe Egypt, Nubia came over here and started cities over here thousands of years ago. Once we got disconnected from Africa, America became its own separate culture.
I got a question for that. Why do you think? Why don't you think that somebody is actually from America and they didn't have to come here? Because this is a place on planet Earth too, where people are from.
Well, the other theory on that is, hold on,
America's not somewhere that everywhere else was existing and America wasn't.
Let me answer
and America didn't have no history until somebody else got here.
Say what? Let me answer that, bro. First of all, I told people there's no proof either way. There's another theory out there, Pangea, that almost sounds better than all of them, because it's proved that Africa and Florida got the same plants and vegetables, trees, all this. And when you look at Pangea, Florida and Ghana, all that was connected. It's possible it broke up. It's possible we walked over here.
But that's a belief of yours. That's not nothing that you can prove, right? That's just something.
That is
put together some information you was told, and that's what you believe.
But did you hear me?
You can't plant none of that. Pangea is like 40 years old to me. Like, I've been heard about that. And to this day, nobody's proved it.
Anybody can plant some trees.
If that's the case, prove the earth is not 6,000 years ago.
From America.
And God made you.
I posted in the back a source saying the most recent common ancestor of all humans came from America.
Man, the bones prove it.
But you was asking me like, why should you answer what's an Asian, right? And I'm trying to answer that. I'm trying to answer that with, well, they're over here, aren't they?
Example of an Indian they have.
Are not Asians over here? Are they over here in America? Is it Asian person? Is Asian people over here in America?
Yes, they are.
All right, does that automatically make them immigrants? Is being an Asian? Hold on, fam. Does that automatically make them an immigrant and not an American? Because they're Asian.
I'm asking you a question. What is the first DNA sample of a Native American Indian?
Bro, niggas don't be talking about no DNA, bro. You acting weird. Don't nobody gonna be on the block talking about that. That ain't how we quantify anything.
Indians
we ain't quantifying it, bro. Until you got a DNA laboratory
and be traced to America. You believe in the plant DNA, but you don't believe in the human DNA.
Stop. He don't know what he's talking about because the oldest Indian DNA sample is over in Montana.
My nigga, they created DNA. If they weren't trying to prove that we were not Americans, they would have never came up with DNA, my nigga. It's based on trying to make sure that we're not Americans.
That's a
every nigga's DNA is gonna say they from somewhere in Africa.
Science to try to
hey, look what I posted in the chat.
But you gotta look at why is there need to prove
made DNA to make you not American.
They're digging up
where we came
DNA
from. Why do we
right now at 4,000 years old? Show me an Indian DNA.
They made DNA.
Y'all had to dig up a fucking mountain man.
Oh my goodness.
And they gotta dig up some fake ass bones.
That sounds like somebody about to run a scam trying to figure out where everybody from.
Grandma lied to you. Because your grandma was taught Christianity. She wasn't taught no motherfucking Indian.
Bro, what are you talking about, for real, bro? And I heard your opinions with some simple logic.
Believe in Jesus.
A logical question where Asians come from, and that blew your...
Man, I don't give a fuck about an Asian, nigga. Why the fuck you keep talking about an Asian?
He go to estrogen level. Through the roof.
We love everybody, including the Asians and Caucasians.
Well, that's what I was telling Willie. Who gives a fuck about the questions you asked? Go ahead, Smoke.
When them real questions hit, you get to yelling and screaming.
Hold on, real quick, bro. I know you niggas are attached to your perspective, but we leaving grandma out of this. Get back to it.
Americans come from.
Grandma
My grandma
said.
was a Christian too.
My
I
nigga, where
told
do
my
black
grandma, I said,
Americans
nah,
come from? Just answer the
my
question.
grandma said,
Ain't
baby, that's
nobody
all
grandma
I
up here.
got. I said,
Where do
Ain't
black
nobody grandma.
Americans come from, my nigga?
Hey, hold on. Ain't nobody grandmama up here to speak for themselves.
I'm talking about my
He ain't paying
grandma
attention
right
to that. I want him to answer the
now. My
question.
grandma right now then.
You know where Asians come from. You
My
know where
grandma was a
Russians come
Christian
from.
too.
You know where
I
Nigerians come
told my
from.
grandma the
Why
Bible
when
is
it come to
lies
us,
in
it's
the
a
Bible.
mystery?
Yeah, what my grandma said, baby, that's all I got. I said, okay, grandma.
G, that don't answer enough. Why is we the mystery?
With it.
Why are we an argument or a question or somebody trying to prove where you ain't got to prove where Asian come
I told
from?
you ain't no proof.
You ain't got to prove where a Russian come
Ain't
from.
no
Why
proof.
we got to prove where we
Ain't
come
no
from?
proof, nigga. Show me the proof. Pull up any source, anybody on the panel, any source on any fucking subject, and I'll slew that shit.
You just deny it. You
Bro,
just
you
deny
scared
it.
of
That
the
don't.
question.
You ain't
You
gonna
just
You're
you
deny
running
it.
from the
Source in the
question,
chat.
my nigga.
Just because you deny it,
You
that don't
trying to
mean you
say
did
niggas, you
anything.
slaying yourself.
Pull your sources up, and let's
put
study
Nah,
them
answer
things.
the
I put a
question.
source in the
Where
chat
black
saying
Americans come
All
from?
right,
the
Since you
pull that
know
Asians ain't
everything.
from
motherfucker
here,
up.
bro.
What is this?
I'm trying to learn. I'm asking
Pull that
questions. I
bitch
ain't got
up
no
and let's
sources.
read this shit.
You
And let's
my
show you
source
how the
right
motherfuckers
now.
decipher
You my source right now, my nigga.
Read the
You the
source.
source.
Let's go.
Hold on. Wait a minute. If there is no proof, why you always screaming Africa the motherland?
I just told you there's no proof. Why I
This nigga
scream
crazy.
Africa is the motherland? Hold on. Why I scream Africa is the motherland? Because when I go and look at some ancient tombs with my black people painted on them, and they're the oldest writings, the oldest history that you can, the oldest DNA, I'm gonna listen to that. Not no fucking Owaspy Bible, a motherfucking white man.
So you
Not
gonna
no
listen to the white? You
motherfucking
gonna
white
listen to
Muhammad
the oppressor?
that
In
brought
other words,
Islam. Not no fucking white Jesus that's supposed to die on the cross to save us. None of that shit. Let's read this shit. Pull the source up so we can slew that shit.
So you saying that the oldest evidence for black people, flag on the plate, is Africa, brother?
Is ancient
That
Kemet.
predate
Math, science, engineering, agriculture, every fucking thing you do on the earth.
Okay.
They're studying it right now, and they still thinking that.
Hold on. You doing a lot of screaming, my nigga. Can you pull that up? Huh? When you get through giving yourself an aneurysm, can you pull that up? Pull that up, brother. Of anybody agreeing with you, that what you saying. Pull that up.
Whoa, wait a minute. We was just talking about sources. Now you don't care.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Pull that up, bro.
I'm supposed to pull that up. First. Now y'all want me to slew this shit. What source you want? What you want?
I want a source that says Egypt Kemet is the oldest for the existence of so-called black people, Negroes.
Civilization.
Whatever you want to. Yeah. Pull that
Wait,
up.
what is it you're asking, dude?
He says Kemet, Egypt is the oldest example for the existence of black people. The Negro, whatever you want to call them.
That would be from Africa, not Egypt.
Egypt is in Africa, brother.
Well, Lubis and Heru got some smoke.
And
then.
so is Asia, Europe, and everything else.
Oh, because Lubis disagreed with Heru.
Niger Valley, that's sea to Egypt and Kemet.
But what about the Nubians that came to Egypt and they are from outside of Egypt?
They're
Egypt is a metropolis like New York. It's full of all different cultures where people come, like a university. They come from. Yeah, exactly. So Egypt is literally a mosh pit or a mutt pit for all different people to come and actually commune, like New York City is a metropolis. That's all Egypt was. Yeah, I know. But you see, y'all see my point that if that is what Egypt is, then Egypt is not the first. It's all the places around where the people come from to go to Egypt. And how you gonna put a first on that?
That's fine and dandy.
I know it is. Reading it.
I don't know what you're
Egypt has the most and the largest extensive text still surviving today.
Egyptian scribes wrote hieroglyphs for 3,500 years, from the dawn of history until they fell silent, decades before the fall of Rome. They took one final gasp in this temple, home of the last known inscription. And yet today I get to animate not a story of loss, but of success, a tale of what ancient Egyptians sounded like, and more importantly, how we know. There's a popular narrative about the rediscovery of ancient Egyptian. It involves a Frenchman, an Englishman, and a stone. The first time I heard it, I remember cozying up on the couch to some documentary. You know, one where the camera pans slowly through pillars across temple walls, then cuts to a bright sun flare and clashing synth cymbals. It went like this. In ancient times, the hieroglyphs were forgotten. Dusty relics until the 1800s, when Napoleon invaded Egypt. A stone was found, the Rosetta Stone. Scholars marveled over the puzzling strings of birds and snakes and hooks and limbs. The stone bore 2 Egyptian scripts and, auspiciously, a rough translation in perfectly readable Greek. Champollion and Young both raced to unlock its secrets, tediously matching names in the Greek text back to the mysterious Egyptian symbols. By most accounts, the Frenchman won the game, and the language of Egypt was at long last restored. Oh, past self, I know you were cozy and awestruck. Sorry to disenchant you. That story is... You think I'm about to say wrong? No, not that. More missing something, hiding in plain sight in history, and even those famed decipherers' own words. Something we can uncover by asking a different question. Not who deciphered it, but what did it sound like, and how do we know? 1810. Years before his celebrated decipherment of Egyptian hieroglyphs. Years before his celebrated decipherment of Egyptian hieroglyphs, here is Champollion hurrying through the streets of Paris. He's begun to make regular visits to learn from Abuna Yohanna, Father John from Egypt, whose liturgical and cultural language is Coptic. The Abuna receives meager payments for his work here, yet in a move familiar to Egyptians after him, who have experienced their share of the long history of human migration, Abuna has been sending much of what he earns back to support the families of his 2 deceased brothers. Champollion, as we see in his writings, is absolutely convinced that Coptic is the Egyptian language, the very same one that stretches back continuously for thousands of years, and that until he can dream in Coptic, he will never understand ancient Egypt. Coptic, to outside eyes, looks like Greek with a bit of a Nile flourish. Indeed, it's written in an adapted form of the old Greek uppercase alphabet, with both consonants and vowels, and that's about to become very significant. But in addition to the starter kit of 25 Greek letters, Copts use 7 letters derived not from Greek, but from late forms of Egyptian signs, the first hint at decipherment. Champollion eagerly absorbs all of the grammar and sounds as Abuna teaches, and within years of work, it'll be by plugging in Coptic sounds and working from Coptic grammar that the decipherer will finally be able to peer back into the hieroglyphs. Major hitches impeded truly revealing their sounds. First, the consonants. Sure, many have parallels in Coptic, but what did they really sound like back then? The consonants were merely pesky nuisances compared to the dust cloud that looms over Egyptologists to this day. Hieroglyphs are a desert of consonants. Where were the missing vowels? Egyptologists scratched their heads and scribbled in some placeholders as a convenient way to pronounce words, not because they thought Egyptians really sounded like this, they just found it easier to read Hatshepsut than Hatshepsut. Arbitrary proxies aside, which sounds really echoed in these ancient gaps between the consonants? Well, since Coptic is Egyptian, and Egyptian documents are plentiful and span such a long time, Egyptologists could compare Egyptian to itself. This is internal reconstruction, and it resulted in an explosion of hieroglyphic knowledge. It reopened a full human language, one that built words using a template where roots are these abstract things made up of consonants. Egyptians would then fill in that template with vowels to make a word. Well, since they didn't write those vowels, how do we refill their vowels when we're stumped by a beautiful example like nfrit? Well, compare Coptic dialects and guess it might have sounded like nafrat or nofrat. What about an animal's horn? It's db. Well, that's a tep. And name, run? Why, it's a rin. And kmet, meaning Egypt? Well, fill it in. Kemet. How about primit, meaning the person? Paromat. Though you three stay put, because as we'll learn, your stories have a twist. Evidence also comes from the languages Egyptian interacted with, both in words they borrowed and words they lent. In the New Kingdom, during the reign of Ramses II, a decades-long conflict dragged on between Egypt and the Hittites. Wearily, the two sides settled on a peace treaty. They wrote this treaty in two versions, in hieroglyphs on a temple wall at Karnak, and on tablets in cuneiform. The elaborate hieroglyphic title of Ramses starts with two words, Nesut, king of Upper Egypt, and Biti, king of Lower Egypt. Well, in cuneiform, these get written out entirely in syllables. After comparison, you might reconstruct an old pronunciation, like Nasi Biyat. Do you notice something? Ramses Egyptian seems to be dropping consonants, and presumably some vowels. It's evidence that the language changed over time. Indeed, it evolved in stages, from old to middle to late to Demotic and Coptic. So Egyptian changed from what? Answers came from linguistic clues far beyond Egypt. Over 2,000 kilometers southeast of Cairo, in this pocket of Ethiopia, there's a cluster of languages grouped together under the label Omotic. The people here are of course perfectly comfortable with their languages, while linguists are left less comfortable. To many, Omotic shares traits with a broad family throughout North Africa and West Asia called Afro-Asiatic. But Omotic is hard to classify, to such an extent that others don't see family traits reflected at all. So why this detour? Simply because the traits used to make the call on Omotic are found in other languages. These traits echo in the streets of Cairo today, where you won't hear the latest form of Coptic, but Masri, or Egyptian Arabic. Arabic is in the Semitic branch of Afro-Asiatic, and by the way, it was in Arabic that medieval scholars made the first attempts at relating hieroglyphs to Coptic sounds. Who else should have these family resemblances but Egyptian? Afro-Asiatic linguists placed Egypt in its own branch. They compared these various branches and traced them back to a common ancestor, Proto-Afro-Asiatic, leaving us with a picture of the position of Egyptian within a family. Now you could look for sounds by rewinding up from Coptic to ancient Egyptian. You could also start to fast forward down from prehistory and triangulate sounds from a more remote past, ancient even to them. Sure, Coptic easily fills in the E in Rin and the A in Tep. On the other hand, there are words where Coptic doesn't match the vowels in its Afro-Asiatic relatives. In fact, it looks like many O's must have been earlier A's. Anok, the pronoun I, came from an older Yanak. And do you remember the way I said the word for person with an O, Roma? Well, that shifted from earlier Ramat. And when I guessed that beautiful might be Nafrat or Nofrat, well, now we know why. It changed in stages, from Nafrat to Nofra. Scrutinizing sound changes gets tricky. Take the word Wunnawit. The hypothesis is that it sounded something like Wunnawat. And now you know the word for those unequal Egyptian hours from my clocks video. incompletely, because its first vowel remains unclear to us today. The uncertainties don't stop there. Why is there no early hieroglyph for the consonant L? And which signs were pronounced L in which periods? And is D a voiced, emphatic, or unaspirated T? And what in the duat is the value of this sign? Alas, this is not a phonology class. We're starting to miss the delta for the reads. The key point is this. What I didn't realize, all cozy in front of that documentary, is that it took all this, understanding Egyptians' ancestors, its relatives, and its descendants, to figure out that Aten's name was Yatin, that Ankh, meaning live, was pronounced Anach, and then later Olnach, and that Egypt's name, Kema, was earlier Kumat, and its language, Ratnikumat. Thank you for taking this Egyptological journey with me to rediscover the sound of the longest written language on Earth.
They got the largest text and archaeological material than the whole world.
Okay. Pull that up. Pull that up too. Pull that up too.
Y'all pull it up.
Yeah. We showing you the same version of proof you just asked us. Pull it up.
Yeah, show us.
We asking you to do the same thing.
What you want to pull up?
Yeah. Hey, Smoke, you're gonna have to start putting us in the back if you want to show our source.
Hold on.
We not know Egypt. We not Egypt
to see proof of
his claim. That's it. His claim. That's it.
Smoke
That's
got control of the computer. He can easily stop it. All you gotta do is go in there and type the oldest DNA on the planet and watch where it go to.
No, I'm not doing that because I don't give.
I don't ain't gonna do it.
I don't give a fuck about Egypt. I want the nigga making the claim. The nigga who give a fuck about it to do it.
What claim
give a fuck about Egypt? Did you hear him make the claim?
You gotta listen. You gotta start listening, Lubis.
He said Egypt has the most text. Egypt has the most archaeology. Nigga, show me that. Show me that.
Okay,
the most archaeology.
He been watching The Mummy.
Show me that.
Lubis, we're asking for a source that proves what you just heard and we all just heard. That niggas, the oldest area that niggas come from is Egypt with culture, knowledge, and information, which we know that is not true. We're looking for a source that proves that true. Can you do it, Lubis? Because Heru cannot do it.
And you're also saying in the study, bro, that there's no way we went over there and taught them.
You know, comprehend.
There's no way we went over there and built that. That's what you're saying?
No, hold on. Don't make no another claim till he substantiate his.
Okay, he's saying that Egypt, Kush, or whatever name it was before that.
All right. Who has the most ancient history? Egypt.
I'll be back to beat y'all up. Y'all in church right now.
Hold on. I got some more sources.
Don't run me.
Who has the most ancient history? Egypt.
I'll be back to beat y'all up. Y'all in church right now.
Hold on. I got some more sources.
Don't run me.
But this is what y'all like to do.
They go to source.
Founded in 3100 BC. Hold on. Let's go over here.
Do you know you're being racist right now, bro?
Hold on.
You're racist?
Top 10. These are the top 10 of the world. Archaeological. Rosetta Stone. This is how we can even read the netter.
Where America at?
Rift Valley.
Mesoamerica.
Okay, America ain't even in the top 100.
They don't mention America. They act like we don't exist, bro.
Is that
it's almost jealousy?
They pretend like
it's jealousy at this point.
Okay, so
we don't get mentioned in nothing.
We
don't get mentioned for nothing.
Smoke.
America, young.
Smoke. He just sourced up on you, Smoke. That's it.
He went to the Google.
That's all.
Don't matter.
We don't know who put that information on there.
This is the alphabet. You probably knew that. More specifically, it's our alphabet. Not all alphabets look like this. In fact, our alphabet gets its name from someone else's alphabet. You've perhaps also heard this referred to as the Roman or Latin alphabet, and that's because the majority of these mixtures of bendy and straight lines settled in the configurations that we now know them by the scholars of Rome. However, behind each of these simple shapes is a story that goes way back, in some cases 6,000 years to the Egyptians. The letter A, for example, started out as an Egyptian cow, or at least faces 6,000 years to the Egyptians. The letter A, for example, started out as an Egyptian cow, or at least this Egyptian hieroglyph of an ox. You may not think of the letters of the alphabet as being pictures of anything, but in some cases that is precisely what they are. The Egyptians famously constructed their sentences using these pictographs that we call hieroglyphics, with each one representing a word. But a lesser known fact is that hieroglyphics were sometimes used kind of informally just to represent individual sounds. You could then use them in combination to represent words. For foreign workers in Egypt, for example, it was easier to build the word you wanted to write using these sounds than to remember which of the around 1,000 hieroglyphs represented that specific concept. So, say you couldn't remember the hieroglyph for time, which for some reason was this picture of, I don't know, a button? Well, you could instead approximate the sound using the hieroglyph for the T sound plus the hieroglyphs for I and for M. The foreigners I mentioned were a group called the Canaanites, and they came from the Middle East. Now, they enjoyed this system of spelling out words so much that they wanted it for their own Semitic language, and they co-opted some of the Egyptian hieroglyphs for the job. So they chose this picture of an ox to represent the first sound at the start of their word for ox, which was Aleph, and they named the letter that too. They called it Aleph. Next, they took this Egyptian hieroglyph, which is supposed to be a representation of a sort of hut, and used it for the first sound in their word for house. Now, these two pictures became the first of 27 representing all of their consonant sounds. Can you see where this is going? The Phoenician civilization was the next to get hold of these letters. They tweaked them just a little bit and then handed them on to the Greeks, who changed their names to Alpha and Beta to better fit their way of speaking. And that is where alphabet comes from. Now, the Greeks gave them then to the Etruscans, who lived in modern-day Italy. They meddled a bit more with the shape and called them A and Be to reflect their sounds instead. Then they gave them to the Romans. The Romans tidied them up a bit, and voila. And they haven't really changed since.
It is a source.
You don't know who put that information.
He asked him to source it up. He sourced it up.
This is a good Kemet teacher right here. Kwesi Ra, Naheem Fatah. You feel me? Well, y'all want to know about the Moors?
No, we don't feel you. You need more people.
Listen, Smoke asked him to show a source. He showed the source.
Yeah, now pull up the first paragraph, the first sentence of that first one, like the actual, so we can read that out loud real quick. The oldest and how they found out that it was the oldest.
Fake information.
Because yeah, I know, but the reason why people think that that's some of the oldest is because of the same people we call our oppressors. Pull up who actually created that study or who's the oldest and where they found that knowledge at. We need to read.
Why we can't just use our common sense?
I love doing that.
With
sometimes
peace
to the
panel, peace to the chat. I don't disagree with America having old shit here.
Sleep this shit. Peace to you,
but
bro.
We're not studying much from the Americas. At least we don't see it.
No, the people that's trying to hide us is not trying to study America. Why don't
hide
y'all
us
get
for
it
what?
right?
Hide us for what?
Nigga, we the key to all that shit going down in flames,
right now. Why they ain't hiding all that gold they finding in Egypt right now? They
so
digging
there
up
wasn't no gold rush in America? There was no gold rush in America or diamond rush or oil ruch? There was no rush for wealth, bro.
Where they getting diamonds at?
But you don't know there was a gold rush here?
Where they getting diamonds in America? Where?
Proves that we are kings. We are really descendants of pharaohs.
Bro, you didn't know that they made a whole TV show where he shot the ground and oil just jumped up.
Where they getting diamonds in America?
They made a TV show about how rich this land is.
Where they getting diamonds in America? Where?
Google diamonds in America. Google.
I'm asking.
You gotta consider this whole landmass as America and stop looking at it as divided.
I'm asking where they getting diamonds in America.
We heard that. We
I'm
were
gonna
saying
look
like
it up.
Google it though. Go ahead.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
pull it up.
I'm asking. I'm just if you make the
Murfreesboro,
claim, you
We
should.
don't get diamonds in America.
It says Murfreesboro, Arkansas.
I promise you,
Nigga.
it's places that shoot out
Got
diamonds everywhere.
everything here. We keep proving it. We
Okay.
got everything here, bro. We are self-sustaining. We don't need no exports. That's why they mad at us.
Big
We
fact.
didn't need nothing from nobody. So
You know,
they
we
forced us
produce
to
more
start
oil than
buying
Venezuela.
shit.
Yeah, we produce so much oil
Imports.
that we don't have to though.
We don't need nothing from nobody. If this is ours, only person that's gonna sell their own shit is somebody that's stealing it. Why you gonna sell land in China if this your land? Who does that?
That's what y'all understand.
Only person gonna do that is somebody that don't belong to. Cause why I'm gonna sell something that's my wealth?
What I'm trying to get y'all to understand is we came over here and claimed this land long ago. And y'all forgot the motherland.
You a
Bro, we out the
motherfucking liar.
dirt. We got songs. We got everything to prove it. We out the dirt, my nigga.
Soup, you get your angry ass out the conversation. Don't you got some beans to go cook or something?
What am I angry about, Willie?
I don't know. I just said it.
Do I
'cause you just
sound
said some
angry, Willie
bullshit.
Daniel?
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say, you don't sound angry to me though. I mean, hey.
I'm pissed. The more information I
Hey,
learn about what
Bush's
happened
baked
to us,
beans
and y'all
though.
niggas acting like it's
Steakhouse
cool.
fire.
So we got hoodwinked and bamboozled. We ain't lose no fight, bro. We got tricked by niggas like y'all that's spreading this narrative. When we sitting here in your face, like, bro, stop, please. You lying. Stop. It hurts. Stop. You keep going.
So give us your creation story and your religion here in America.
What? Ain't no way. You do that first.
Nigga, ain't no creation story. Ain't no none of that.
Y'all are
shit.
fucking liars.
And learned it, my
No,
nigga.
you a liar.
Y'all are liars. If you're gonna sit here and say an
No, you're a
American
liar.
original,
You said that we
believe
came
God.
on here long ago. You're a liar.
Wow.
No, you get a lie. You get a lie. You get a lie.
Y'all done turned into ape.
Nigga, you trying to set a standard that must be met or else we're liars. Where did you get this standard?
I ain't trying to set no standard.
Yes, you are. You said, what's y'all God? Y'all had to have some spiritual system and y'all had to have this. Or you a motherfucking lie. Where did you get that from?
Everything that America dug up that y'all claim are old cities, which are
No,
old.
nigga, I asked you, where did you get that idea that you must have this and have that in order to be? Where did you get that from?
I'm about to tell you. If you shut your
Okay,
ass
go
up.
ahead.
Our spiritual system was
Yes, ma'am.
nature, the laws of nature, everything about
Don't
nature.
help
We
this nigga
understood.
out. Don't help him out. Don't
Yeah, let him
save
build.
him.
Let him build.
Let him hang
fight
And
himself.
every country got a creation story.
The sun. They knew the sun was the spiritual energy of
See
the
what y'all
supreme.
did? Y'all let this motherfucker out the bag.
He did do that.
Listen, they also knew that all the stars are living gods.
You're a bullshit artist, nigga, but you can't bullshit a bullshitter.
And y'all want to claim to be original American.
Nigga, we ain't claiming shit. You the one putting this standard in this these things that have to be in place for in order for us to be. Where did you get that idea from?
Because everywhere you dig up, they worship the God.
Oh, okay.
No.
Every fucking culture around the world, old. I don't give a fuck if it's Australia. I don't give a fuck if it's Africa. I don't give a fuck if it's America. They had a worship system and they believed. Y'all motherfuckers.
Oh, okay. Right.
They understood how
I
the
get that
world
point, but we moving the goalposts.
That nigga just made that bullshit up.
But he's right
They
though.
Understood up.
But he's right
They
though.
Understood up.
But he's right
They
though. But he is
understood
moving the
that
goalposts
everything
on the
on
topic
earth
though.
is alive because of the sun.
No,
They
I ain't moving
understood that.
no goalpost. This is the problem I had with the Indian movement. I don't have no problem with y'all saying this is America, this is our country, because it is.
Go scratch your ass until you ain't got no more
Let me
problems.
ask you this.
Man,
If I believe the water is
fight
alive,
fair, so
I
we can
believe
move
the
on to
air is
the next
alive, I believe the plants is alive, that means I believe in God? If I believe all these things are alive, the sunlight is alive.
Believe
If
or not, God is
if
still
our
existing.
spiritual system believes in natural organic shit, everything
God
organic is
is
real, and now we in this computer robot fake organic, and you saying we was
Wait a
worshiping?
minute. Hold on, time. Computer robot fake what?
No, Heru has spent so much money going back and forth to Egypt that he don't want to let it go. So he wants to claim that and claim the Egyptians, because then that means he'll lose a lot of money believing in lies.
I rap the Egyptians. So when I
right, but you run your black ass over there and study that bullshit and make yourself be part of that bullshit. And if you find out something else, you have wasted your money at Disney World.
Black people writing. I don't believe them before I believe any new writings.
Right, because you don't want to lose that money. You don't want to. You don't want to accept the truth that you spent all that money at Disney World, nigga.
C.E.O. language, the Asante language. You would cross-reference
that nigga run his ass back to Egypt every year, and he don't want to admit that that's an amusement park. He gotta believe it because he spent so much time and money investigating that fucking bullshit.
You know why it's an amusement park? It's just like
you don't know nothing about Egypt, though.
Just like what the Jamaicans experiencing. They don't have beach access to their own island.
Nigga, you can make up all the bullshit you want to, but you gotta hold on to that lie, because if you don't, that means you threw a lot of money away going back and forth to Egypt, thinking you was gonna find something that was connected to you, and you gotta make it so.
It's a tourist attraction.
He hurt y'all feelings.
Where does the name Egypt come
you
from?
know he's telling the truth. You think he's joking, but he reading you like a book.
Dead ass serious.
Where does the name Egypt come from?
Man, I wouldn't give a fuck about a word. I do not allow words.
Let me get this. See, I know it. He gotta hold on. He can't accept nothing that points out that that's some bullshit, because it's gonna hurt his. It's gonna hurt his soul, because he really believed in that shit.
100 years from now, maybe 200, all these countries will have different names. Who gives a fuck?
Guess who's still gonna be here though? Guess who's still gonna be here? Where we been this whole time?
You know, sun people, the rulers of the earth.
But that's a good point you made. Like, regardless of the name, it's still the earth. Like, regardless of us all calling grass something different in different languages, it's still the green stuff that grow out the brown stuff, right? So
that nigga trying to save face.
Listen, check it though. His point is what, honestly, I'm an able, right? But I'm an able that knows that we're people beings of the sun, and we're out the earth. We grow out the earth everywhere, all the earth. So trying to put an actual timeline date on when we sprouted out as black niggas, whatever you want to call it, human beings, that's almost impossible.
It's
you can't do it. You can't say that we come from Africa or we all come from America. We come from everywhere.
These continents don't switch stuff.
Kind of proves that. But yeah,
the human race originates from Africa. That's a fact.
That's not what I said, but that's your fact. That's not true. That's what modern science.
I don't even know that to be
You can't
true.
prove that, Ludus.
Because it could be 2 million years ago. It wasn't even Africa. It was different land masses. That's it.
You're right, but that location.
But you run your black ass over there every year trying to make a connection with something foreign.
It's not foreign. It's family, but ancient.
But we'll be wrong if we laugh right now at him. Like,
I mean, I love that
because we arguing about your point. We pretending like all our family. We not. Everything ain't relative. Like, we not related to everybody. Yeah. It would be pointless. It would be futile to do that.
When you understand God, you have the key to happiness. Nothing will sway you.
Where did you get that concept of God from? Did you make it up, or you got it from Egypt?
There's no way to make it up. I know that
Is white people from Egypt?
There's no other proof.
Is white people from Africa too?
How many gods did the Egyptians worship? How many?
You can't even prove nothing unless you see it.
Is white people from Africa too?
I don't think you know.
I bet you I can hook a battery up to your ass, and I can't see electricity, but I can see your ass shake to death.
Now, OG had the greatest question. Hey, here's the greatest question. Where do white people?
Hold on. Hold on. Real quick. Remember when you said Egypt had the oldest archaeology? Well, let me present to you Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
If you don't mind.
I'll talk to you motherfuckers later.
This Louisiana archaeological site is older than the Egyptian pyramids. Need I go any further? I don't think there's no need for me to go any farther, brother.
Got him.
In Louisiana?
Okay.
Yes, that's the word he just used, Lubis. Yes, Louisiana.
I love that. And guess what? When they finally dig that up and pull the text out, it's going to show you how Egypt came over there and started that shit.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, there'll be no writings there. They would have rotted away.
Out of hand with that statement.
You don't even know what Egypt is.
Nigga, there's pyramids buried underground now. That's twice as old as the pyramids we see in Egypt now.
All I got one.
So that's fine.
That's big facts. Yes, sir.
I never deny y'all were old. And I never denied that we didn't come there thousands of years ago and build this same thing.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what's amazing, because essentially we were saying that there's one elite, technologically advanced group of people that traveled around the world pre-transatlantic slave trade, and so I'm guessing that the actual Pan-Africans are saying that they come from Africa.
Hold on. I like the way
they come from.
Hold on.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, y'all got it. I'm muted up.
Smoke, where you at?
He's clicking on the keyboard, the keys right now.
That's a good find.
He said, hold on, and then went quiet.
Smoke went to digging. That's a good find, though. I like that.
Look, bro, I'm just thinking. No, this is just a simple Google search.
I got you.
There was so much chaos after you made your initial claim. I just had to wait till it calmed down a little bit, because your cheerleaders and they pump on.
Well, let me say one thing.
Enjoy your celebration.
Let me say one thing.
The Egyptians came and built something older than the shit that they have. Hold on, well, you can't say nothing while I'm talking, bro. You can't say that the Egyptians came and built something older than the shit they have. Go ahead, bro. Whoever was trying to get something out.
No, I was just going to respond to that. That's a good find, Mr. Smoke. I admire your diligence. But, like I said, that's just one site. And we haven't even read anything from that archaeological site. So I can't put my faith in it just yet. However, the Egyptian stuff has been studied, and it's more than just one pyramid. There's thousands of tombs that they're digging up, and texts, thousands of papyrus and texts that they're reading. And they've already studied. They've already got the math. That's how these crackers got good at what they're good at. Herodotus and Plato and Socrates all going to the schools and learning. We don't have no records of anybody going to America and learning in history. So that's fun. You got an old site. We know that site is nothing but other gravitors. And not even
you present, brother.
So we don't know what
brother.
That
you present your case.
It's a nice dry smoke, but that's not good enough.
Okay, so the source you pulled up, what did we read about it, brother? What did we actually read about it?
Hey, if y'all want to read some more,
come on, mister. I got a lot to say. What did we actually read about it?
That Egypt has the oldest ancient history.
Brother, how can they have the oldest ancient history?
That site is old. It has no history. It has no writing. It has no math. It has no economic system. It has no archaeological system. It has no building engineering system. It's just hunter-gatherers.
Hold on. I got a button that prevents me from having to hear all your rhetoric, brother. We can just do Q&A. We can just do Q&A. All right, we ain't got to preach to each other. We ain't got to preach to each other, my nigga. It's just Q&A. It's just Q&A. You're going to be all right. Egypt still going to be there when I end this stream, my nigga.
I like the flag
bandana. Still going to be there when I end this stream. There's nothing you can say to help Egypt. There's nothing you can say to help Egypt right now, brother. Give me the date for Egypt's civilization, brother. Just give me the date. You ain't got to preach. Give me the date.
No, I ain't standing on just Egypt. Because you keep saying Egypt. I stand for Africa.
Brother, you started off this whole dialogue by saying Egypt is the oldest archaeology.
I said Kemet.
No, I know. Yeah, so Kemet and Egypt ain't the same place?
Kemet. You're not going to get me on this word play. Egypt.
Brother, I'm not playing. You playing words. You want me to argue with you about words right now. Egypt and Kemet is the same. Egypt is the place. It's Kemet, named after the goddamn Greeks. It's the same fucking place. Different name, same place. You came up here and said that Kemet has the oldest. You said that. Didn't nobody put no gun and put it in your mouth and say, nigga, say Egypt got the oldest shit. You said that of your own free will and religion. Now that you're getting beat the fuck up on it, you want to preach.
I
nigga,
did not.
Give me the date. Can you give me the date? Give me the date.
You sound. Yeah. Well, let's share my screen. Let's share my screen.
Let's share your screen then, nigga.
Nah, nigga.
3000 BC.
Not old enough.
No, I ain't even going there. We going to Ngwenya mine, nigga. 40,000-year-old mine. 41,000-year-old mine. The oldest known mine. The oldest known provider of mineral resources to the world. These are the people that traveled up to Nubia. These are the oldest black people. This is why they call us Negro. This is why they called it Negro land. Niger Valley. This is the oldest 40,000-year-old iron mine in Ngwenya, Niger. Brother. That's why it's a big confusion on why so many West African slaves over here. No, they been coming over here. They been had cities over here. They been trading with the Americas for thousands of years.
No.
And brother, that point he just made is amazing because the trade with somebody, they already got to be there. So that's why the point is crazy.
Where is Ngwenya, brother? Where is Ngwenya?
It's in Niger.
Brother, it's Niger Kemet.
It is the original Kemet people.
Brother, it's Ngwenya. Brother, it's Ngwenya Kemet, brother.
Yes, that's their ancestors. In this whole talk about ancestry and who your people from,
I don't believe that.
In this talk about ancestry and who is your original people. Now you want to exclude it,
brother? Can you pull up Ngwenya is Kemet, brother? Can you pull that up? No tithes and offering, my nigga. You can stop preaching. I ain't going for it. Pull up Ngwenya is Kemet, my nigga.
So what point are you trying to make with all this?
I'm trying to make the point that he said Kemet is the oldest shit, and it's not. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm finna beat the fuck up out of Kemet. That's the point I'm finna make. Then when I get through beating up Kemet, I'm gonna beat up on your Puerto Rican ass.
What do I do? I'm so nice.
All I'm saying.
Oh, this is the Puerto Rican guy. This guy
from Niger 40,000 years ago and seeded Nubia and Kemet. That shit way older than what the fuck y'all talking about.
Hey, can I ask one question? Hey, I'm gonna ask one question to everybody. What's an Olmec?
Don't let me start there.
Yeah, think about it. Think about it. It's a
Don't
chess
let me
move.
start
Don't
there.
answer right away. Don't
Them
answer right away.
Nigerian motherfuckers.
Yeah, and how old did they date those skulls? Those actual Olmec heads?
I don't know the date off the top of my head.
So how
Very
long
old.
have we been over here?
Very long.
Okay, now the only now listen, the only argument, that's redundant. The only argument amongst real niggas is how far back did we start traveling and traversing the earth? Can y'all put a date on that?
300,000 years ago.
Or more.
Do it again. Do it again.
Or more.
He pulled that number out of space.
Or more.
No, I remember learning it.
Okay, so that's when that's
Where
when
you
Africans.
learned that from?
Okay, that's public education,
School.
maybe. Yeah, that's K through 12.
I got you.
When we first left Africa.
So that was the
And
school.
that is yeah, and that time is crazy.
300,000 years ago when humans first started boating around.
Yep.
No, that's not when we first. That's when the people that we
than
descend from made it up.
Yeah,
That wouldn't be. You know what I mean? Just to clarify.
Yep.
That's when who made it up?
The people that which we descend from.
They made up when they started expanding. Okay.
How do you know 300,000 years? What kind of proof?
But there were people prior to that who left Africa. We just don't descend from them directly.
Really, that's a good question because I was wondering how can you prove?
I'm about to ask you like how you like
started.
Go back to this programming.
It's hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's my 300,000 years ago. That means you would have to find some type of port city or maybe find a boat that old. That's possible.
And here's the thing: science says that this happened, but things don't last that long where they can put them in museums and show us something that's 300,000 years old. You see my point? It's almost like you gotta believe in science like religion.
No, that's absolutely wrong. That is comparing science to religion is absolutely false.
Why is it false?
Because science actually goes with evidence.
What does science prove?
Yeah, science. No, it ain't necessarily. They're trying to prove. They
let Lubas at.
Migrated out of Africa.
Hey, bro, I put something in the back chat about a 500,000-year-old structure. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna read that.
And then we got to look up carbon dating half-life and how they can't actually prove for certainty that that's that old because everything has a half-life when you deal with the isotopes. So it's a deep rabbit hole. I'm moving with everybody real slow. Now,
explain to me why that doesn't work.
Hey, Lubis, no, you explain how you know.
No, you just said
that is
carbon dating.
No, answer the first question I asked you. I asked you one question.
Why does that not work?
Do you want to answer the question I asked you first? Do you know how you can prove that it's 300,000 years?
Archaeology.
Okay.
Hey, look, yep.
That's my point. Yeah, y'all see.
Hold on, but I agree.
Kong TV.